Good afternoon and welcome to Houston, Texas, this year's home of the 2024 Collegiate Rugby Championship Women's National Championships. Next up, we've got Coast Guard taking on Vassar College here in our D2 semifinal. Winner will play against Wisconsin Eau Claire. I'm Tim Wilkes, joined up here in the booth by Lance Cavanaugh from Great American Rugby. And Lance, we've got an excellent match on our hands here.
The beautiful thing about championship weekends like this is when you get to see a rematch. Last year, Coast Guard and Vassar battled for a matchup, but unfortunately, for Coast Guard, Vassar was able to step through to the finals. Can they get their revenge and take that step and be next up to go against Wisconsin Eau Claire?
That will be seen. Right now, we've got both these squads almost ready to enter the field. Should be a good one. And as you mentioned, Lance, that last year battle was a tremendous one. And look now towards this year, the Coast Guard out of the North Atlantic Collegiate Rugby Conference have had an excellent season, 8-0 on the year. And again, punching their ticket here into the semifinals, looking to take it one step closer to that national championship. Coast Guard helicopter up in the sky, and we take a look at Vassar College coming out of the Tri-State Women's Collegiate Rugby Conference, 9-0 on the season. In their last two matches, a big-time 36-5 victory and a 40-0 win in the quarterfinals over William and Mary. Coast Guard circles the field, and the ladies are ready to enter the pitch here at SaberCats Stadium in Houston, Texas. We are just about ready for our second D2 semifinal matchup. Again, Wisconsin Eau Claire, a dominant victor in the first match just a little while ago. Cincinnati just could not get anything going, and we are ready to go here for the D2 National Championship semifinal. United States Coast Guard. We'll take a look at them first, and Avis Akers, one of the captains there, number 2, leading from the front. And then on the back end, a couple of All-Americans, Amanda Konieczny, number 15, a great start in the action, and also Anna Green will be there in the fullback position. She is also a captain here for this Coast Guard Academy squad. The Bears ready for action, but on the other side, the Brewers ready to get into it. Julia Wolf, large lock there, lowering the boom time and time again in the front. Sophia Bailey will be the connection. She is the All-American and already has 30 tries on the year. Tremendous effort. And then on the back end, Sophia Lynch, also a big-time potent try scorer. There is Sophia Bailey, only 4'11", but again, one of the best scrum halves in the entire country. And last year, she had that name all to herself, looking to do the same this year and get their ticket punched yet again for the D2 final. Tom Foley, our head referee, they're in the pink jersey, taking us through all of the action this afternoon. We are just about ready to rock and roll here. And Lance, you called it earlier. It was a matchup between these two last year in the same semifinal, and Vassar College jumped out 30-10 before Coast Guard got right back into it, only losing by 10 at the very end. But Lance, what do you see out of this Vassar College team that might give them the edge?
Well, they have the absolute problem child in Sophia Bailey. She has been putting up points throughout the entirety of the season. Look to Lynch to use that boot. They got the fullback, Jude Robinson, who is also a big-time point scorer. Let's see if their defense can hold up and they can keep the momentum that they usually build early in matchups for Vassar to take this matchup.
Called it there. Bailey swinging it back and forth across the pitch, but into contact they go. And Savannah McBrayer, number 6 for the Coast Guard, jars that one loose and gets her team the first scrum of the match off that turnover.
Defense, defense, defense in championship weekends.
Coach!
Bears with the put into the scrum here. Rayleigh Ann Westervelt. gets ready to get the Coast Guard going. Coast Guard, a perennial powerhouse. They've won their conference 7 times over the last 10 years.
Offside.
This time, a little too aggressive there. Offside's the call. And Sophia Bailey with the quick tap and a hard charging run. Dives over one and keeps things moving. There's the pick and go for Vassar College. Their bread and butter, the pick and drive. Again, now number 5, Tang. Keeps it moving, and penalty's going to be given there, not rolling away.
Approach was fine. Coast Guard, you got to roll out of there. You got an advantage from that.
And look how they dominate early on. Pick and goes usually breaks the hearts of a lot of those teams that they face during the course of their season. But it's semifinal time. Can the Coast Guard show the determination to withhold 80 minutes of this onslaught?
Vassar College, only I believe their 2nd year here with NCR, but they were a dominant force with multiple national championships in other conferences as well. And right now, a huge charging run. Jude Robinson takes it home for the first try of the match for Vassar College.
She is the team's 2nd leading try scorer, and she showed you exactly why that is the case. Powerful runner, determined runner, and bouncing off a couple of those Coast Guard defenders to get in for an early 5. Vassar starting with the peak that they did last year in this same semifinals. Ball caught a little low, able to get the stiff arm away, pulling away from the defense. Just a tough tackle to make, and once she is roaring and going, not many players want to stand in front of that. 5 points for Vassar.
Great start for the Brewers here. 5 up on the board. Hit coming here from Sophia Lynch. Off the mark, no good. So Jude Robinson, the 5'5" fullback, the neuroscience and behavior major out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, gets the first try of the match, and the Brewers on the board first. As we mentioned, Lance, a 38-10 lead last year in this same game, and they are ready to rock on the front foot yet again at the start.
Yeah, this is deja vu from what we've seen a calendar year ago. Both teams fighting hard at the beginning, but Vassar gets the quick starts, take your heart away. Coast Guard able to fight back in that last match. Let's see if they can do it here today.
It just so happens they've got the ultimate clock milking strategy with the pick and goes again as their primary means of movement. We see here a couple more ready for action. Kasim Scott, the number 8 position, keeps it going, and even Bailey ready to charge through.
Roll out of there, roll out of there. Move 6.
Coast Guard again,
Release now, tackle.
not getting too low. They're getting driven over time and time again. Kind of flirting with that offsides line, and now Bailey spins it to the outside through the hands of Will. Into contact there off the first pass. Now Will again tries to get this one through, but a little too far forward for Robinson. Scoops it up anyway. Already with 1 try, over the midfield stripe she comes. Big time fend through 1. 2nd makes the tackle. Good job by Anna Green. But now it's Vassar College looking for their 2nd attacking opportunity here as we take another look. Next level rugby production replay there in your bottom right-hand corner. Robinson again, now another penalty on the attack, not releasing the call. Back 10 go the Coast Guard.
She is a nightmare scenario for any back 3 defender. Multiple stiff arms to every player in the back 3. Only 5 minutes into this match, and they know that fin is going to be sent. Great way to make the tackle, slow them down. And let's look at Vassar on long line breaks. Do they choose to go immediately back to the pick and go like they did, even though they had so much space and opportunity going back towards the middle of the field? Those moments, not few and far between, but let's see how Vassar capitalizes as game progresses.
Their line out here, first of the day. To the front, look for their target, McKinney. Not straight the call though, so a choice option here for the Coast Guard as they look to get out of their own end and strike their first opportunity. Haven't really seen a lot from them with ball in hand. Again, their lead, Avis Akers, number 2, is their captain alongside Anna Green, number 15. Take a second look there. Just kind of hits the body on that left outside. Got to make sure you hit the inside half. Easy call for our referee, Tom Foley. And we get things moving again.
Side shoulder again. Side shoulder on your part. Your choice.
Different team throwing it, same thing again. So we'll reset again, Lance.
Yeah, and the rules have been changing over the last month. Literally feels like over the last 60 days, the referees have kind of had this thought that if the defense lifts and contests, that ball has to be in the tunnel, has to be retrievable by both teams. You don't contest, the referee will play on. 2 contests, 2 not straights, we're scrumming down.
Get the option there, and interestingly, Vassar decides to take the scrum, use the bodies inside, and now around the side they come. Kasim Scott takes it forward, 5 meters out now. Vassar looking to double their lead. Keep it in tight. Ball was free for a second, but it's picked up by Authors. Slams her way forward, and a penalty is going to be given. Hands in the ruck, quick tap by Bailey, dives forward but gets repelled. Second effort is enough for the try, and Vassar College double their lead 10-0.
During my time watching this Vassar side, Sophia Bailey scored multiple tries in that same manner. She is right there on the spot. Any penalties, she'll go quick, she's dangerous. Anybody not taking care of that A-gap after each ruck, she'll pick it, she'll cut it, she's dangerous. Here, penalty card, too many players reaching over. Referee gives a long arm. She patiently steps back, sees the space, goes immediately. One move off that left leg and got low enough to put the ball into the try zone. That is why she's the team leader in tries. That's why she is one of the best in the U.S. And no stress to Sophia Bailey getting the early try for this Vassar side.
31 tries on the year, and you call it exactly the same thing we saw last year. She's just so knowledgeable with ball in hand, knows what the right play is, and the tenacity that we saw right there, taking on 4 players much bigger than her, only 4'11". She doesn't care. She scores the try and has Vassar College on top 12-0 after the kick, and we are just about ready to get things moving yet again. Vassar had this one go backwards off the hands, play on. Says Foley, our referee, and Bailey gets things moving out to the left-hand side. Through the defense they come. McKinney with a strong run. They're on the outside channel, and they're going to keep going that direction. Sending in a good 6-7 forwards with each one of those runs. Surely securing possession. Now back inside again with the backs, but right into the teeth of the defense. You see them just pushing forward. Julia Wolf drags a couple with her as well. Let's get this one in, finds the target, Maniatis. To contact, Vassar slowing down a little bit after a couple good phases, but now they've got it at pace, full speed into contact goes Kasim Scott. Over the 22-meter line, Bailey picks this one up, looks for some space on the outside, but too many blue and orange jerseys there for the Coast Guard. This one held up a bit. Try and take this one to deck. Good job getting the knee down. Release called from the referee. Again, trying to find some space on that weak channel on the far side of the pitch. Dermashkin mashes her way through for a little bit further. Handle Authors. 5'7" prop senior keeps things moving. Vassar College multiple phases into this one now. Lost forward though by Robinson.
Number 15, hands to the face. Directly hand to the face.
Hands to the face, a little bit too rough with that fin there by Robinson as we take a second look into contact right at the face. The referee gives the penalty back to Coast Guard.
That is her #1 weapon on attack. Believe me, she's going to continue to use it throughout this match.
Such a fine line between a strike and a fend. You got to make sure you already have that arm out there. Let them come to you. You strike forward. It could be dinged for the penalty like it was that time. The Coast Guard now, their first big break of the match. Through the final tackler. Off to the races is Caitlin Boggs over the 22-meter line. One left to catch her. Lynch is not going to do it, and in for the try. Boggs gets the first of the match for the Coast Guard.
Incredible bit of play, one-on-one against the powerful Robinson. Able to get loose, continue that long break, and that right there shows how dangerous the Coast Guard can be. This is what they did in the second half last year. found a space. Defense just didn't attach on that inside. One fin, two fin, you try so your team can win. And what a absolute bowling ball hit to get through one of the more powerful players on this Vassar side. The foot race is hers, 8-man versus winger, and she has the legs to finish it. And you can see the fans in the background, the teammates, they're celebrating, high energy. That's what you want in a championship moment.
Off the mark, no good. And that's one thing about this Coast Guard Academy. Players coming from all over the country to go to Coast Guard Academy. Such a great school, and careers truly started in great ways there. But right now, a terrific try that time coming in from Caitlin Boggs out of St. Augustine, Florida. Gets it done, and just a tremendous effort as Robinson was not enough for the tackle there, Lance. Great effort, but just couldn't get it done.
That inside-out move we just saw was a thing of beauty. Got her to space, 5 points on the board.
So a terrific response for the Coast Guard. Again, last year they fell down 38-10 in the first half. Had to kick things in gear in the second half. You know their coach has been talking about that, saying we have to work quicker, have to come out faster. And they did that with a huge response, cut into the lead, 12-5 to score. Just over 12 minutes gone by in this first half. Put into the scrum here for Sophia Bailey.
Set.
Foley calls it out, gets us set, easily comes to the back, and another charging run for Kasim Scott, her second time there off the back. So not a lot of pressure, and she's able to make another 5 to 10 meters. Into the hands of Jacoby. Good support, just in time. You see the Coast Guard lurking, trying to find the poach. Now they've got numbers here on the outside. Robinson slides in, around the first defender, inside of the second, and she's gonna take this one all the way through. Her second try of the match for Jude Robinson.
She wanted a little bit of get back from that earlier try. Unable to make the one-on-one tackle. She decides, I'm gonna equal those points back. No harm, no foul. The swerve to the inside of the right foot. And look how they set up the play. They go out the back, let all of their forwards run through on the earlier phase, go out the back, and with that much space and room and opportunity, she is dangerous. That step off the right foot, fullback on fullback, and fullback wins Vassar, an additional 5. And this has turned into the shootout we seen last year.
Last year, big 48-38 victory for Vassar College. And they are on the right foot this time. 19 points up on the board, 3 tries for the Brewers. And so far, it has all been Jude Robinson, the fullback. Auburn, New York, getting it done on the offensive end. A great show of athleticism to get by 3 Bears to dot it down for the try.
They're going to continue to need that. Who knows how Coast Guard will act in the second half.
Briggs sends this one up high. Recovered in the back here by Vassar College. And the pick and goes. Their favorite starting platform starts to get underway. McKinney into contact, but a great defensive stand. Big time push coming in there from Green and Boggs. Just got to get a little bit lower on these pick and goes. Get lower, hit them in the knees, wrap up, make the tackle, but you try going high, and that's what you're going to get. Shoved backwards 3-4 meters as Authors lowers the boom yet again. They're going to keep this going. Rivera couldn't make the tackle, gets shoved back, and Vassar continues. The Brewers really starting to get things churning now.
Tackle! Hold your rock, coach.
He's hit the deck, and now Bailey's going to try and swing this one outside. Wheel finds her target. There to Maniotis, just inside that 50-meter stripe. Backwards off the hands. Tang couldn't handle it, but it scooped up. It looks like Coast Guard were able to get in possession. Big time counter ruck, but it scooped up on the outside. And now the Bears, I believe, only the second time they've gotten into Brewer territory. Last time was on the big game-breaking try.
Tackle.
70 meters There for Boggs just a few moments ago. What else do they have in the hat here? Trying to pull a trick on the outside. Couldn't find anything happening. Good job by Akers to keep the ball in play. Nice little offload, but the big hit on the outside jars them into touch. Turnover with the line out, back to Vassar College.
And with Vassar having another opportunity to attack, this is a moment where Coast Guard has to organize that space next to the ruck. They get a little lower on the onset, start chopping some of these Vassar attackers down, these pick and goers down. It becomes a completely different ball game.
Cedar Mashkin there, number 11, made the big tackle just a moment ago. This time, all hits the deck, finally scooped up by the Bears. Able to retain possession. Good hands on the tackle, jarred that one loose on the offload.
Advantage 12 in from the side.
And from the side there, so an advantage, penalty advantage being played
Coast Guard, you're on a penalty advantage.
here for Coast Guard. A rumble through for Rivera.
Take a step
Doesn't
there,
culminate to
Vassar,
much,
take
but
a
they're
step
able to keep
back.
possession. Penalty advantage still being played. It'd be a huge response. They were able to score after the last try, the second one for Vassar. Now the Coast Guard all the way back inside their own half of the pitch. Kraus Rivera brings it back. No advantage gain, so we'll bring this one all the way back. In from the side, the call. I think that was Sumrow, came in at a weird angle there. Got to come straight back from behind the ruck. So now the penalty here, they'll just take a quick tap and look to charge. A little bit of wind here in Houston, Texas, 48-degree afternoon, soggy and cold. Not a ton of wind, a little bit maybe blowing right to left. The Coast Guard haven't taken advantage of that much, haven't seen too many kicks in open play yet. But right now they're gonna continue to rumble, a little pick and go action of their own. Tate with it. Now Moore, swing this one back. Right in the spot, same spot where the ruck occurred a second ago. Kraus Rivera bangs through. Good little stint of possession here for the U.S. Coast Guard. But a huge counter ruck shoves them off the ball. Great job by Tang and Authors to get the ball back for the Brewers. Advantage being played, offsides there for the Bears. As Jacoby continues to rumble forward, and another big one coming through by Julia Wolf. See the replay. Catches her up high and charges all the way through. Lance, we keep seeing this as Coast Guard will get the ball back here, but the last time they had it 10 faces, couldn't make much happen. What are you seeing from the Coast Guard, and what do they need to do a little differently here on the offensive end?
Well, it seems like they're mixing it up a little more. You've seen a few pick and goes. Whenever they decide to go to their backs and they go to the furthest channel, moving the ball all the way down the attack line, they have a little bit of space to really manipulate. The only thing is, will they be forced to play in the center thanks to that line speed from Vassar, pushing up and cutting the ball off?
Called it there, hit him a good 5-6 meters behind the gain line that time. Sabine Wheel, number 10, the fly half. He's done a good job in that category, but there's a break from Briggs through the defense and a terrific tackle. Robinson gets it done that time. 1 for 2 on those open field tackles from her fullback position, but still ball in hand for the Coast Guard. U.S. Coast Guard Academy has Isabella Rivera taking it in for him. Almost midway through this first half, a couple of good line breaks. Madison Murphy here for the Coast Guard. It's just continuing to find some space. Good job by the scrummy. Taking it up, pick and go. Westervelt finds a few more meters, just outside the 22-meter line. Vassar College on top of the Coast Guard by 14 points. Coast Guard inching their way to try and cut into that lead. Back now to Anna Tate. Gets it off to Kraus Rivera. Coast Guard, again, another pick and go. A lot happening here straight in the center of the pitch. Not a lot of width on this last possession, but they're still finding space in the middle. Isabella Rivera takes one forward, and now it's offloaded to Garrett. Garrett, straight up the gut. They're gonna continue this. Murphy giving Vassar College a taste of their own medicine here, but they've gotta excel in the rucks, and they're able to do so, not rolling away. Authors gets dinged for it. Quick tap coming from Akers. Into contact, maybe a little high. Referee sees it as well.
High tackle first, penalty Coast Guard. High
I
tackle.
mean, that can be seen as a card. A bit of that can be given to yellow. I don't think it was malicious or anything, but inside the 5 could be dangerous. And now they're using the space.
Out to the outside, here's Briggs, taken down by that last defender. Sophia Bailey getting her nose dirty into the contact as well, trying to make that try-saving tackle here. Another surge forward, a little bit too straight up though, shoved backwards. U.S. Coast Guard still looking for their second try of the match, down by 14 in this D2 national semifinal. Knocks it forward, and the attack is stifled, and Vassar College holds strong on the defensive end.
That was a great defensive set. The Coast Guard doing a mimic style offensive attack. Anything you can do, we can do better. Picking and going, keeping the ball close. But we got to figure out how Coast Guard is going to attach those backs to this matchup. How are they going to get this space involved? They're playing a very confrontational side, a very confrontational way of attack against a side that seems to be built for that kind of defense, able to get their heels on the try line and hold strong.
We've got the scrum here for Vassar College. Just want to go back to that last play. We had that penalty high tackle. She was one of the last players that could have made it. Was a kind of a try-saving tackle. Maybe a yellow card, as you mentioned, maybe even a penalty try there being that last tackler. But we play on here. Vassar College made it out of the woods over the 22-meter line now.
Tackle.
We've got word here from the TMO. TMO reviewed that one, was cleared, the right call on the field, and Vassar College are making the best out of it now, picking and driving over the 22-meter line as they continue to surge forward. Contact goes Nyhouse, and a penalty is going to be given here. In from the side, an obstruction, no, going to be the call. So a little too aggressive on the rucks, and a turnover ball back to the Coast Guard.
A little too aggressive, no such thing. No, I'm joking, but definitely found herself on the wrong side. You can just see how confrontational Vassar chooses to be. Pick and going from inside their own 22.
Offload just before the tackle there on the quick tap, and it's lost forward and scooped up by the Brewers. Back in possession, Bailey to the outside. Not a lot of space there. So a 14-point lead for Vassar College, a perennial powerhouse. Their second year here in NCR, trying to come away with their first national championship. Last year they fell to the team that they will be playing if they get a victory, Wisconsin-Eau Claire, tomorrow. They fell last year 32-29 in the national championship. Sophia Bailey broke her ankle in that match, but she is looking good here today and trying to get Vassar back into that national championship match again. Struggle for it now, McKinney lost it and lost it forward, says Foley, our referee. So good, strong defense from Coast Guard, holding firm, keeping Vassar College pinned in their own end, and now get the scrum off of the knock-on.
Yeah, and off a turnover, you would think that Coast
You're
Guard.
moving beyond the ball, so now you're running obstruction from that. On the last one, I think it was number 3. Okay, you came in right from the side. Okay, you have to come through the gate. You have to stay bound. If you move beyond the ball, you are not in that ruck anymore, and now you're obstruction. Okay.
Sorry, had to let the
That's why I'm not calling
referee.
them for being offsides, because you guys don't set the line anymore.
Referees laying the claim, had to let him speak his piece. But Coast Guard able to lose the ball, but still not break, still not give up something big. It's a good sign, but they have to get more offense as this first half ticks down.
Just come straight out. Was never touched, never hooked. Have it again.
Westervelt couldn't get that one all the way through. Kind of saw a similar thing on one of their last put-ins as well, as that one came almost out the side. Just got to make sure we get it into the hooker's foot. As Foley gets us reset again.
Set.
Westervelt out to the back, scooped up there by Boggs, already with one try on the day. Into the winger, good defense that time by Dermashkin. Slows it down, now the Coast Guard. Been here for about 5 to 10 minutes trying to respond since this last Vassar College try.
Go out of there, get out of there,
2
15,
on the
move.
board already for Jude Robinson, number 15 for Vassar. Westerveld brings that one out the back. There's numbers there, all the way to the outside to Sarah Moore. Moore around the corner, Robinson makes that tackle beautifully, secures. But now it's Coast Guard inside the 22-meter line, swinging out to the backs. Again, Kraus Rivera into a brick wall there at the 22-meter line. Now to Rivera with the offload, tries to get out the wing to Moore. Moore gets it back in. Now they're just gonna have to secure possession, goes to deck. The poach is on and it's taken away. Great job there from Sarah Wagner. Steals it against the ruck. Keeps this one up, but a big collision by Avis Akers shoves him out into touch. Back and forth play. We take a second look here.
And that was a lot of work on the tightrope on that side. Vassar able to get the quick turnover, a little bit of disconnect on the structure on what they do next, and Coast Guard with a big hit to get them out of bounds. Now we're setting up with Coast Guard having success going wider. Will they continue that thought process of getting the ball to that 15-meter channel of attack?
Not gonna matter as Vassar College tapped this one back. They do get shoved into touch, so we'll have it again in almost the exact same spot. We've seen that a couple times from Vassar, getting up high and stealing that one on the lineouts.
Yeah, and that's just a coach's migraine. Able to get the ball back, able to get the steal, but just couldn't keep possession to build some phases. Vassar not going to the boot to get off their own end of the field also shows me something about their confidence in attack.
Yeah, backwards.
Backwards, says our referee, and play on. There's the try scorer, Boggs. Swings it into the back there for Kraus Rivera.
Release, no hands now.
26 meters out here for the Coast Guard. A little over 12 minutes left to play. There's a bit of space there on the right side of the ruck. Isabella Rivera exploits that for a few more meters. And again, out to the right-hand side, through the hands of Anna Tate. Gets it off to Boggs. Caitlin Boggs out of Nice High School, St. Augustine, Florida. Keeps things moving, and now it's Akers, the captain, over the 22-meter line. Try to go off to the left this time. A little bit of a no-look pass, finds its target. It's the hands of Sarah Moore. But they're gonna call that one a little bit forward. So a lot of time and possession here for the Coast Guard, Lance, but just couldn't get any points up on the board.
Yeah, they had a great opportunity there. Off that left foot, Sarah the winger cutting up a few of those defenders. Unfortunately, the pass is just a little forward. And now the sun and the weather has changed just a bit. How does this play into the last 10 minutes of this half and what we will see in the second half? Because last year was an absolute show. 38 points in one half last year. We can see the same at this tournament now.
Stay bound in, Nate. Stay bound in, please.
Still about a 50-degree day here. Things were a lot slicker earlier. Not much rain to speak of. You say the sun's shining. See if things opens up. Part ways here for Vassar College as they look to extend their lead yet again. Into contact they come. Sophia Lynch takes it through. Keep things moving. Nice, slow, steady pace here for Vassar College. The ladies from Poughkeepsie, New York, continue to pound forward through Samuel Tang. Penalty going to be given, not releasing the call. Good job by the Coast Guard to get their hands on it.
And that's one thing I thought I'd see a little bit more of, the attempts to go immediately for the ball. Vassar is choosing to counter ruck and power through, walk the team backwards over the ball. Coast Guard getting those hands in early. As we see the flanker number 6 after that bobble ball, miracle catch. Love to see it. Got around, perfect body height, loaded the ball, hands on the ball, no incentive to release, referee right on top of that. And that's how you steal the ball, ladies and gentlemen, and get it back for your side.
You got to make sure you get your hands on it before you make contact against the other team. And they do so nicely there. A little underhanded throw into the line out. Does go the required 5 meters, hits that first target, and gets the Bears on the front foot moving. Down by 14 with under 10 minutes left to play. 30 meters out here. Nice hard charging run again, coming up and making the hit as wheel for a fly half position, but they're able to get around her, and Coast Guard back 25 meters out. Off to the right through Akers. Excuse me, that's Rivera. Takes it into contact. Back to Westerveld, keeps things moving. Through the legs, scramble for it.
Nothing too bad, but you got to wrap. No wrap.
No wrap tackle, and a penalty will send Vassar College back 10.
Safety first, gotta call that every time. And that was an opportunity for Vassar to get the ball back deep in their own end. And the quick tap, we're on again.
Taken in by Akers, the captain.
Keep coming 6, thank you.
Take possession here in the back.
Play on.
Westerveld off to the right again. There's the
No
try
hands,
scorer,
that's a run.
Boggs. Another hard charging run,
Tackle.
gets it into contact. Avis Akers working as we see that no wrap tackle there in the bottom right. Next level rugby production replay there. Into contact again goes Mullen. Coast Guard have been down here for a good 15 minutes now. Still no points back up on the board since that first try. Inching their way closer and closer. Now a charge from Rivera over the 22-meter line. Really narrow attack for the Coast Guard. Even the winger there inside the 15-meter stripe. They're able to rumble forward. Nice job there on the outflow. 10 meters out for Coast Guard. 8 minutes left to play in the first half. Pick and go. Isabella Rivera sneaks around the ruck, gets a couple more meters. Mullen charges forward, but a big-time counter ruck blows this one up.
That ball's out.
Out the back,
Play on, that's good,
it's
play
dove
on.
on.
There's no ruck
Great
there.
job there by Boggs. Gets possession back to the Coast Guard, and now they're going to continue moving forward. Savannah McBrayer
Tackle.
leans forward, 3 meters out now. The Bears looking for an opportunity, out the back again. Got to come back inside. Again, that door slammed shut by Sabine Wheel, the fly half. Lance, they're having so much trouble getting it around this charging defense.
Yeah, the depth is just in there to counteract that line speed.
Again, repelled away from that line. Vassar College, the Brewers cooking up excellent defense. There's a gap now over the line. Rivera gets there, but we're going to have a decision.
That's where to go, TMO there. Check that grounding on field. We have the grounding.
Have a TMO review here just to make sure. Good job by our assistant referee right there on the spot. We'll see what they're able to come up with here.
Stonewalled, and looks like no real opportunity to put the ball down. Too many Vassar arms underneath from that angle, and the original call being held up. I don't see that being laid as a try.
Yeah, you saw when the assistant referee came in, her initial reaction was held up. Great job, big time collision there. Isabella Rivera close to dotting it down, and they have really taken a page out of the Vassar College book, just pounding straight forward with the pick and drives. We take one final look here. No try given. And we will reset a huge defensive stand again for Vassar College, Lance.
And big hit by Sophia Bailey at the very end, absolutely holding her position underneath the ball. An amazing bit of defensive play, and Vassar bend but don't break for the third maybe time we've seen today.
If you're the coach of U.S. Coast Guard, Sarah Price, gotta be a little bit happy with where you're at now. If you can pound in one final try, get yourself in with one score away from taking the lead. They've just got to keep pushing here. Under about 7 minutes, about 6 minutes left to play in this half. 6 meters out from the try line. U.S. Coast Guard bring this one back out through Westervelt. Find the running Briggs into contact. She goes, but she has it ripped away. Great defense on the outside. Sophia Lynch steals it away, and the Brewers back in possession. Continue to pick and drive here. Under 6 left to go. Securing possession each and every time is the name of the game for the Brewers. Coast Guard looking always for the poach. So far, they've held strong. Sling this one to deck. Mullen.
Good, play on.
Good job holding on to the jersey, and this one's ripped out of there. I think that's Caitlin Boggs that has possession. A maul is formed, so now they've got to bring this one back and present it to the Coast Guard, but I don't think they're going to be able to rip it out of there. Finally do so. Around the near side they come. Rivera again, almost had the try last time, still pushing hard. Here's Lily Rivera Number 3 into contact.
Sure you're not bound in, please. Don't pick
Isabella
yourself.
Rivera,
Go,
number
good.
7.
No, don't play that. Don't play that. Now you
Scooped
can.
up by Akers. She'll drive
Tackle,
this
release,
one
strike.
forward, inching their way just a little closer now, within 5 meters out. Over to the right-hand side, you see that charging run. Beautiful skip pass, finds its target there for Briggs. Briggs with the offload, gets it to Kraus Rivera around the outside. Mendez has some space. Final little offload doesn't come to fruition though. Anna Green scoops this one up, but it was knocked on in the process. Helter-skelter stuff there, Lance, but for the 3rd time, it's another defensive stand for Vassar.
Vassar is repelling all attacks from any place on the field. Coast Guard finally going to their backs, using the space necessary. All they needed was one pass. It's 2-on-1, but unable to field it, and that little knock right there on the wing. And this Vassar defense, if you've seen, has hustled. That line speed, relentless. Their pursuit from the inside is absolutely prime, and it is the reason why they haven't gave up tries on 3 consecutive trips to the 5-meter line.
11 on 11 action there as Mendez came around the corner, but a huge hit from Dermashkin. She's made a couple of those big tackles. The number 11 for Vassar College. Now it's Sophia Bailey doing what she does best. Leading from the front,
Number 11, hands
pushes
in.
her way forward over the
right
22-meter line. Hands in the ruck for the Coast Guard, and Sophia Bailey. Quick tap, steps past that first defender with ease into contact, but she was a little isolated. Has this one ripped away by the Bears. Lance, we're about 20 minutes of straight action here on Vassar College's half of the pitch.
Yeah, there hasn't been many breaks. It has been an absolute banger. A lot of confrontation, hits in the middle of the field. I'm loving it as we go into halftime.
Bears continuing to charge forward. Isabella Rivera was held up at the try line just about 5 minutes ago. Another big time tackle behind that gain line. Julia Wolf getting it done on the defensive end. Coming up and making that tackle, Sabine Wheel, the 5'6" fly half, continues to charge forward time and time again, disrupting that ball carrier. And again, Briggs hit 10 meters behind the gain line. Try to find some space on the left, but again, the winger 5 meters away from the ruck, not a lot of width to be found. Good job holding this one up. Not a release shown there, and a penalty is going to be given Vassar College back 10.
Yeah, and it's a few alums that are sending me messages and well wishes to this Vassar side. They are very proud of the way these ladies have been playing this first half, and they know that this is the big step up moment to really get into what will be an absolute challenge in the next round. Got to get through this first, but both teams are definitely stating their claim of why they should be in the championship.
Coast Guard line out with about 1 minute left to play. Almost on our referee. We see him there, Tom Foley. His watch will be the final call. Again, underhanded throw, hits their target, Avis Akers, the captain. Pick and go. Riley Mullen starts the charge for the United States Coast Guard Academy. Through the hands of Westerveld again, gets it into contact, keeps it in tight with the forwards. Try score, Caitlin Boggs with that run that time. Now they're going to try and swing it out, but again, behind the gain line, that entire back line pushes forward, and Vassar College hit him behind the gain line again. Here comes Isabella Rivera. Time and time again, she's charging forward over that gain line. Really, Lance, it's the forwards getting all of the action done here for Coast Guard. They're keeping it in tight each and every time they go to the backs. It looks like they're losing meters.
Yeah, but they have to make a decision to show some balance. Coast Guard have to go between those backs. That's what created the space of their first try. To duplicate that, they have to get those backs involved.
Unfortunate knock-on sends this one into the break. 19-5 your score. Vassar College with those 3 tries on top so far. We'll step aside, and when we return, we'll have the second half of this D2 National Championship semifinal when we return on the Rugby Network.
With the right plan, the right team, and hard work, even the most unpredictable events can be overcome. At USI, you have the whole team on your side, protecting you from the unexpected and making sure you bounce back better than ever. We take the time to understand your concerns and provide solutions with customized game plans for you and your business. It's Major League focus and results for you, and we call it the USI One Advantage.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome back to Houston, Texas, the home of this D2 National Championship semifinal between Coast Guard and Vassar College. And right now we've got the United States Coast Guard Academy's coach down with Tyler Deutsch. Action here, Vassar College on top 19-5 here in this rematch of last year's D2 semifinal. Tim Wilkes here up in the booth with Lance Kavanaugh from Great American Rugby on social media. Catch him if you can, but Lance, a terrific matchup so far. Vassar College terrific on defense, have fully stifled Coast Guard Academy so far.
Defensive line speed and taking care of the A-gap has given Vassar a great lead. Quite the opposite can be said for Coast Guard, not taking care of that A-gap and not covering the backs, but we have a break.
It's where we saw them have a ton of success in the first half, those pick and goes. Page out of Vassar College's book, but it really started to work for them. Got really tight and narrow on their attack. This time they're able to swing it around a little bit. Might have had some space out there if they had continued with the hands, but they'll drive forward. Coast Guard Academy again, a perennial powerhouse. They're out of the North Atlantic Collegiate Rugby Conference. Won their division 7 times in the last 10 years. Still looking for a national championship here with NCR. Over to the outside. Into contact goes Nadia Lamar. Lamar recently onto the pitch there. Hands in the ruck, and so the Bears will get dinged with that one. Sent back 10, and Vassar College and Sophia Bailey take charge.
And we just have to applaud again Vassar's defensive prowess, working together. Found themselves with a little bit of space exposed on the outside, able to fix and patch up those issues. And listen, we saw this matchup last year almost have a tale of 2 halves, one team doing well one half and it flipping. It looks like this would be a lower scoring game than last year, but it could be the same tale of 2 halves. Coast Guard are finding a little bit more momentum as this game seeps on.
As you mentioned, last year, same 2 teams met, and it was 28 points in the second half for United States Coast Guard, only 10 in the first. So we'll see if we have the same tale of a tape here in the second half. A huge driving maul coming there, but separated, came back together. So obstruction is the call. Great job there by Foley making it.
Yeah, he had his eyes right on that. And the detachment was just clear enough that you have to call it right there, play on the ground, release, switch hands, and put her hand on another attacker there. And unfortunately, that's obstruction every time. And Coast Guard, again, bend but not breaking now. They found their defensive strength over the 20 minutes in the first half. Let's see if it continues for them.
Remember, folks, if you're looking for any stats of any of the matches, men's or women's national championship action, check out the NCR app. Find that on Apple or Google Play. Make sure you have that to see who the leading try scorers this weekend are as we inch our way forward to the national championship matches. We have one coming up next, Wheeling taking on Southern Nazarene in the D1 National Championship Final when we come back here starting at 6 p.m. So don't go anywhere as we continue to move along here on the Rugby Network. 3 minutes gone by here into the second half. Coast Guard still looking to respond, down by 2 tries. Able to secure possession out the back. Working it way to the outside. Briggs with the offload, and they're able to keep things moving. It's Bears squad again, nice and tight. You don't see anything on those outside channels. Vassar College tries to go for the counter ruck there. Contact was made in the ruck, so hands off. Going side to side here now are the Bears. Isabella Rivera with a good job going north and south in the first half, but this Vassar College defense, they know it's coming from the center. Now they're gonna try and swing it to the outside, but again, that as soon as she's able to catch it, defense has already flowed over to the outside and nothing to happen, just has to take it into contact.
Yeah, they're just cutting off from the outside every time.
This hard charging defense, you see just how quickly that line speed is, but they're able to break through. Here comes Kraus Rivera. They're almost at the 22-meter line. Beautiful little offload, maybe forward. They're still gonna continue to march forward over the 5-meter line and in for the try. Coast Guard Academy dot it down. Foley has not given it yet, waiting to see if it was forward. Not forward, and a try is given. Coast Guard Academy cut into the lead. Now 19-10, the Bears creeping back into this one.
They had to find a way to get their backs involved. The space has been there for them for the majority of the day. The line speed just not accounting for that inside step, and the 2-on-1 converted. And look at the chase defense from the inside. The Vassar didn't give this up easy, and Coast Guard earning their 5 and getting themselves closer into this matchup. Amazing try by this Coast Guard side.
Little pop pass there at the end to find the try scorer. Beautifully done. Coast Guard Academy, Lance, that was exactly what they needed. They spent a good 20 minutes in Vassar's half of the pitch, came away empty there in the waning moments of the first half, but here in the first 5 minutes, they take it in and steal that first try.
Yeah, when they find a chance to break the line, they capitalize, that's how they be getting their points. Whenever Vassar can hold them up, make them earn every meter of the pitch, Vassar's been finding a way defensively to stop them, stifle their getting points. But 2 breaks, 2 tries we've seen from this Coast Guard side. Very explosive, and is built off of counteracting that line speed by Vassar. They've done it twice, and twice as nice as 2 tries. Coast Guard are looking a little confident. Let's see if they can control the rest of this half.
Jasmine Mendez with that final try. A good line break there again from Gabriela Kraus-Rivera to set it up. Coast Guard back in possession now. 19-10 the score. And second time they've scored on the edges, so very difficult kick. Both conversions no good. Out the back, here comes Westervelt. Slings it back, they're able to continue moving things. And straight up against the teeth of the defense though. It's Anna Tate tries her hand at it. In the line speed there for Vassar College, hit him a good 5-6 meters behind the gain line, and then a big strong counter up shoves him back further. This one straight down, says the referee. No, he will come back and play the knock on there. And so Vassar College continuing with that stingy defense here in the second half. Gave up a try, but they have earned the turnover in a scrum.
Yeah, and this, like I said, it's the bend but don't break. If they can fill those holes on the backside, on the wide channels, when Coast Guard goes side to side, they'll be in good position. But that knock was so tiny, so small, and those things can really turn the tide of a matchup. Vassar on attack again.
And that third try for Vassar College came at about the 18-minute mark. So they've been held scoreless for a good half an hour here. And they're now trying to get those engines cranking again. Samuel Tang, another pick and go. Saw this a lot in the first half. Continuing to build momentum, drive their way down the pitch. Back inside, nice little scissor into contact again. Maniotis, 5'7" center, sophomore, takes it in. Vassar continue, ball in hand, phase after phase. Keep it in tight. Here's Andy Authors over the 22-meter line. 5'7" prop. Pushing psychology major, getting it done for the Brewers. Another charging run. Nyhouse, front row, working hard on the offensive end, and now they'll swing it out to the back. Skip pass out to Robinson. Space there on the outside. Hits her target, Mendez. Around the side, excuse me, that was Dermashkin taking it around the corner. Another question here for AR.
I mean, and Jude Robinson, again, being such a playmaker, making things happen. A little high on that grab, on top of the ball clean.
Right. Obviously, she was sliding in there, but let's get that tackle on.
Try time Brewers.
Just giving a warning. Just giving a warning on that high tackle. Attacker sliding in. She was around the head and neck. You see that seatbelt right around. Referee has to look out for that. But I think circumstances with the attacker sliding, try awarded, no harm, no foul, we play on. But great try by Vassar.
Good call there, Lances. That one finished off in the end. Leah Dermashkin slams it home out of Yonkers High School in Yonkers, New York. Dots it down, and a terrific response. Because Lance, we were just talking about how long it's been since they made a trip to the try zone. But they come back and make another trip, another try call from the edge. Very difficult kick. Just a bit off to the left, no good. But for Vassar College, a terrific response. It looked like Coast Guard was ready to put up another 28 in the second half like they did last year.
Yeah, and just dangerous. They're going out of the back. They have a little bit of sophistication to their attacks to the back line. And the back line has been producing points for this Vassar side over and over and over. That is 4 tries, 2 from the fullback, 1 from the winger in the scrum half. The back line of Vassar has been controlling this matchup when the space is there. Coast Guard able to score explosively, and we know they're a team that can put up a lot of points. 30 minutes left. What can they make of it?
That's 10.
10 meters traveled, says our referee, over that white stripe line. And Vassar College scooped this one up and continue the charge. 24-10 the score. Two converted try lead for Vassar College. Again, last year they led at the half 38-10. This one not releasing the call. Vassar College get the quick tap off the penalty. Sophia Bailey makes that first person miss, as she does every single time. Just coming straight at her, and Lance, now you see her, now you don't, as she is shifty.
Yeah, and if you just find some tapes of Vassar earlier this year, if she picks the ball up and has space, it seems like it's almost automatic, sliding and slipping through, getting points for her side this year, leading the team in tries.
Tackle.
Back to work goes this Brewers front seven. They continue to push forward. Pick and goes. Now it's Nyhouse taking it in close. Off to the right-hand side now goes Tang.
No hands.
Vassar College must get low on these tackles, hitting them up a little too high, too easy to get shoved forward. There's the lean, over the line and in for the try, dotting it down. Sarah Wagner extends the lead for Vassar College.
Try time.
And as Sarah touched the ball down, you can see how that four-pack all shouted in joy. They seen how that group led from the front. You see, I said that the back scored all the tries. The forwards, not to be outdone, worked together as a unit, and Sarah Wagner from Albuquerque didn't take the wrong turn that time, slides in for the 5 points. And how dangerous is this Vassar side when they get this close to the try line? Look at the low position, low body height, unable for those Coast Guard players to get their hands under the ball. She was attacking at the hips, the knees, and 5 points. Vassar is extending this lead.
Long kick from the sideline, just under the crossbar, no good. And Lance, as you mentioned, so often we see that post player, that first defender off the side of the ruck, almost to one knee to try and get low as possible. The lower player always wins. And you see off the right-hand side, Wagner gets low underneath the shoulder level and drives it home for another try for the Brewers.
And if Coast Guard doesn't want to match that body height on those pick and goes, they're going to be on the back foot as much as we've seen in the first half and as what we've seen in those 5 points just now.
So much possession really for the Coast Guard here in the last half hour or so. Vassar, though, gets it done, gets 2 more tries up on the board, and now in full control, 29-10.
Tackle.
Here over the last couple of minutes. Great effort for this squad. Again, Vassar College just short last year, 32-29. They fell to Wisconsin Eau Claire, and it's the Blue Gold going to be standing in their way again tomorrow afternoon. Right now, they've still got to finish this one off. Pick and goes, one right after the other again. 54 minutes gone by in this D2 National Championship semifinal. Great work on the defensive end. Madison Murphy with the big bear hug tackle. Brings her out into touch. Turnover ball to the Coast Guard.
Coast Guard holding their firm wall, able to keep Vassar from really picking and going and getting down the field. That's a tiring way of attack. If Coast Guard can find a way to really get the ball back in those times, it'll bode well for them. Take the heart away from Vassar as they pick and go and try to bang the ball down the field.
Right down the middle, just missing hand after hand there. Eventually scooped up in the back by Sophia Bailey, the scrum half. Leaning forward, Julia Wolf, anthropology major out of St. Louis, keeps things moving. As the pick and goes one after the other. Now Bailey's going to swing it out to the outside. Nice little skip pass there to Robinson. Fills into the line and bursts through it over the 22-meter line. Past her opposing number. Past one final defender and in for the try. Vassar College dot it down again for Jude Robinson.
Try time, Brewers.
That's 3 from her. And that one was a complete mindful approach on attack. They go with her slipping out of the back. She finds space, cuts through the line, and if you notice, she decided not to use the fin. Earlier getting caught with hands in the face as we see that ball out the back. Able to turn the corner, step off that right, get up the field. But look at her decide not to use the fin, just keeping her arms away, running away from defenders. That fin is a powerful weapon for her, and just the play action of the fin, the fake of the fin, gave her the space she needed, and the foot race was all hers. Jude Robinson take a bow, 3 on the day.
Tremendous effort there for 5'5" fullback out of Friends Select School in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Another kick from the corner, off the mark, no good. So 29-15 our score. 3 tries in a row for Vassar College as they continue to push forward.
And look at the speed and the right foot step, running that fake scissor line, and once she found the space, she ran right to the greenest grass on the pitch, that try zone, able to completely get away from every Coast Guard defender. And what a performance we've seen out of her. Mentioned a few times earlier in the matchup, but just absolutely dominating here in this semifinal.
Correct score now, 34-10, a 24-point lead opening up now. Some little knock on there, hands coming in from Coast Guard. Play on as Vassar, ball in hand inside their own 40-meter line, 10-meter line, and now it's ripped away. There's the try scorer from the first of the match. Caitlin Boggs rips it out and gets the Coast Guard moving again. See there the strength. Gets the ball back, and now they're going to continue to push forward, straight up the gut. Lily Rivera. Now back into Avis Akers, the captain. Leans forward, another hard charging run for her. Now back, Isabella Rivera. In those 3, time and time again. And now, not rolling away is the call. Opportunity for Coast Guard. They'll quick tap. And look to charge, right up the gut. Avis Akers, 1 meter out. Needs to go to deck. Good job by the defense. That was Samuel Tang, but now they dive over and through for the try. Coast Guard now down 34-15.
One of the things that I've always said as a fan of rugby here in the United States is our military teams have never quit on a match that I've seen. They will fight to the bitter end. The Coast Guard is no different, giving up a try less than 5 minutes, and they're already countering back with a dive over there. And it seems they're using the same philosophy that Vassar uses against them. Going quick, picking goals, close to the ruck, and they found their way all the way down the field. This is impressive by the Coast Guard, who are trickling back into this matchup. It seems like they're never really out of the fight.
Kick here from the side, left boot is up and through. Great kick there by Gabriela Kraus-Rivera. And the try scorer, Isabella Rivera, number 7, was denied earlier in the day by the TMO, held up, but not this time. With ferocity, she dots that one down. Gets Coast Guard back into it a little bit. As evening starts to wind down, sun going down, still a beautiful day. A little wet this morning, but things have dried up and cleared out for a beautiful Lone Star night here in Houston, Texas. Coast Guard Academy doubled up right now, 34-17. Almost midway through this second half of action. They struck first here in the second half with the big-time try. Cut that lead down 19-10, but then Vassar College right back with 3 tries of their own to take a stranglehold of this one. Now high tackle here coming against Vassar College, so they'll go back 10. Quick tap coming from Avis Akers, the captain. Charges forward. A strong lean there from Authors, trying to get in with the counter ruck. Coast Guard secure possession. Off to the side. Murphy takes it in. 20 minutes left to play in this D2 semifinal. Waiting in the wings, Wisconsin Eau Claire after their dominant shutout victory over Cincinnati earlier in the day. Try score coming in, or that's Kraus Rivera. She had a nice line break earlier. Stifled this time. Continue to push forward. Nice and tight here from the Coast Guard. Try to spin it through the lock. Murphy. Again, the line speed comes up and meets him right there. A penalty is going to be given, though, not rolling away the call. So a couple of penalties have helped the Bears march their way down the pitch here.
Yeah, and that is not a healthy way to play defense, just giving more opportunities. And the confidence from Coast Guard is alive.
Caitlin Boggs, already one try on the day, gets her brace, number 2 on the board, 2 in a row for the Coast Guard Academy.
When the Coast Guard attacked with space, we've seen earlier how we gave them a try. Back-to-back tries when they attack with a little bit of space off of penalties. That 10-meter buffer created by these penalties is giving Coast Guard all the opportunities they need. And for the second time, going in to score, Coast Guard is not out of this matchup, and they're going to fight to the bitter end. You see how elated both players are to be able to get points on the board. This matchup is not over. Caitlin Boggs, take a bow, the Florida native.
Junior management major is managing her team through some tough times right now. Kick off the mark, no good, but just like last year, they were down 28 points, got right back into it until a final try helped Vassar win by 10. We'll take one more look at the quick tap here, Lance.
Yeah, just that hop step there, the fin on the prop, and Boggs decides that she wasn't going to be stopped by anybody. The hat-trick hero, Jude Robinson, unable to bring her down. The All-American and standout, Sophia Bailey, can't chase her down. Coast Guard are absolutely rolling 2 straight tries with so much time left.
I'm so used to seeing Sophia Bailey doing that off the quick taps. Great footwork, beat 4 different defenders, did Caitlin Boggs, to score her second try of the match. Great rip out of there, though, as Vassar College take it back. Big scramble for it. Sophia Bailey uses that ruck. Around the corner she goes, 5 meters out now. Sophia Bailey shoves off the final defender and dots it down for Vassar College try.
And that continues her average of 2+ tries a game. There's only 2 games this season that woman, Sophia Bailey, didn't score multiple tries for this Vassar side, scoring 1 in the first half today, getting a long break and adding 5 to her side. And that's how you shut the door on the Coast Guard team, who just had a little bit of confidence. She has been picking and going off of the ruck all year, finding space. She recognizes it, and once she gets to going, the step off the left, absolutely magic. That is try number 33 for her for the season. And to play 12 games and score 33 tries, or excuse me, 11 games and score 33 tries, she is on an absolute tear.
Looking to punch their ticket and then take it one step further. Again, last year, Vassar College lost to Wisconsin Eau Claire, who's waiting for them right now, 32-29, and Sophia Bailey broke her ankle, but she has come back with a vengeance and looking to make 2024 the year for Vassar College here in National Collegiate Rugby. Right now, up by 17 points with about 15 minutes left to go in this D2 semifinal. Good on Coast Guard to get right back into this match. Again, down 28 last year, came right back. Things started to get out of hand again, down 29, and 2 straight tries have them almost knocking on the door again. Vassar College off that kickoff, had this one ripped out. Samuel Tang could not hang on to it, and the Coast Guard back in possession. Off to the left, Westerveld finds a running target at full speed. Madison Murphy with a nice charging run. Back out to the left, they'll take this one again, right into the teeth of the defense. Jasmine Mendez, 1 try on the day already. Akers leans forward. Coast Guard Academy 15 minutes away, 17 points down, 3-score game. Try here, converted try would bring them back within 10 points. Right now, they're just looking to creep their way back in. Here comes Isabella Rivera, the try scorer. Held up once, got one in. Here comes Akers. Over the 22-meter line, Robinson straight through that ruck, blew it up, and eventually Vassar College ball's on top of it. Great steal inside their own 22-meter line. Emma Newhouse takes it forward, and they continue to march right up the gut. Julia Wolf, but it's taken away. Lily Rivera back in possession for the Coast Guard. 25 meters out off to the right-hand side to Isabella Rivera. Big slamming tackle. Leah Dermashkin has been terrific with a try, but also on the defensive end as well. Scoop this one. Rivera will out the back, finds Akers, the captain. Lost it though, right into the hands of Eleanor Jacoby. She was off the ground, playing it back to her team. Penalty is given, and back 10 go Vassar College. Off the quick tap, just as they've done time and time again. No kicking for touch. It's straight up the gut. Akers that time. With the quick tap, and they continue to push forward. Here comes Lily Rivera. Big time shove. Andy Authors moves the whole pile forward with a big shove and gets possession back for Vassar College. Boy, Lance, time and time again, we've seen Vassar College with these defensive stands, multiple in the first half, and they are getting it done again when here in the crunch time.
Yeah, when it matters most, deep when they're on in, they find a way to just hold strong. But their way of attacking back, unless they get a lot of phase play and a lot of build-up, they seem to find themselves defending the same areas again, as we see on this turnover.
Anna Tate poached that one away, but after the first pass, Kraus Rivera drops it forward. So Vassar College holding on by the skin of their teeth here, up by 17 points, but with 13 minutes left, the Coast Guard Bears still knocking on that door.
I mean, so much for both teams to really be proud of defensively, but Coast Guard has to find a way to build and build and build phases and get the ball to their backs, who seem to be finding those lanes on the outside 15-meter channel.
Ladies from Poughkeepsie, Vassar College, ball in hand here, 12 minutes left to play. Dermashkin around the outside. Again, support arrives. Nice clean ruck, and they keep pushing forward into the hands of McKinney. Good defense. That time, the winger, Sarah Moore, able to get involved and shove Vassar out into touch. Turnover back to the Coast Guard.
And that's a strong bit of defense from Coast Guard, carrying players out of bounds. The unison, the work together, able to get the ball back, but they got to do just a little bit more because this Vassar defense is holding strong.
Majority of the day, we see them going to the first lifter here. Now they'll go up top, through a couple of hands, but possession there, scooped up for the Coast Guard through Boggs. Boggs with 2 tries on the day, leading her team here. They need a spark. Almost 10 minutes left to play, down by 3 scores. They need one quick. Into contact goes Akers, the captain. Offload here. Keep playing on and into the scrum half's hands. Westerveld stays in, keep it in tight. Boggs again breaks over the gain line. Counter ruck was there, but shoved off nicely. Now they'll look to swing it, just can't get it to the outside. Great charging defense, Madeline Sumrow, number 12, getting into the action and just not allowing them to get it to the outside in their backs. Make them take the long road here, Lance.
They're gonna make them work. Vassar defensively have no give up in them either. Undefeated teams, neither one of them want to concede that loss first time of the year, especially in a playoff moment like now.
Madison Murphy, the junior, just a couple meters outside the 22-meter line. Westerveld finally secures possession out the back, dug that one out of there. Another counter ruck from Authors. She's going to get dinged for the penalty. No, not rolling away, one of the tacklers there. So back 10, and Coast Guard here, under 10 minutes left to play, down by 17. Not kicking for touch, they'll tap and go. Into contact goes Akers, the senior captain, trying everything she can to lead her team. Madison Murphy slammed to deck. Double tackle coming from the Brewers.
Tackle.
Slow it back down again. Westerveld trying to beat this line speed. They can't get it out to the final two again. Ripped away, but illegally done so. Not releasing the call. Center of the pitch, quick tap here for Akers. Looking for a gap. Slamming the door shut there, met McKinney.
Tackle.
Akers just dragging defenders with her. 5 meters out now for the Coast Guard. Under 9 minutes left to play. Try scorer Rivera around the left-hand side. Nothing happening there. They'll continue with the pick and goes. Here's Avis Akers. Repelled again. Nothing happening. They'll try to spin it to the outside, but back inside again comes Kraus Rivera. Can't get it past. Now they'll come back. A penalty advantage was being played. No advantage gained. We'll have a penalty here for the Coast Guard.
Offside. You may not go faster. Here's your mark.
Does the pick and go approach, does the way attack they're gonna concede too much time if they're down 17 points? It's taking too long for them to really get explosive plays. Can Vassar continue to hold?
Isabella Rivera has one try, another one held up earlier. They're gonna continue diving in. Here's Murphy. Couldn't quite get there. They'll bring it back now. They'll try to spin it. How quick can they run through the hands? They're able to get it all the way to the outside. They'll need the speed to come around the corner, but it's not there. Here's the double try scorer, Boggs. Swims through one, dives over the line, and gets her third of the match. Beautiful try for Caitlin Boggs.
Hat trick hero for the Coast Guard. And did you see the step off the right foot? Absolutely destroying ankles on her way to her third. They found a way to get the ball to those attacking channels on the outside. It has been open for them all game. That quick ball from this ruck right here set up everything for them to be able to play it wide. 2 passes, and usually the ball stays dead there, but she was able to get the ball off, double skip, and they just had the numbers. Wham, off the right foot and able to dive in. Boggs is going absolutely crazy for the Coast Guard. That's 3 for her, and not a moment too soon. They definitely needed it.
Try to take this one quickly. 6.5 minutes left to play, down by 12. Still an opportunity here for the Coast Guard Academy. And give props to Anna Green there, number 15, had the assist with the nice offload to Boggs. Boy, Boggs has done everything in her ability. She's really been the biggest spark plug for him. That lady right there, Kraus Rivera, has also been excellent with Vassar College. 6 minutes away from punching their ticket to the national championship. They must repel the Bears, who take possession here off the kickoff, but a great counter ruck secures possession for Vassar.
No hands, no hands, no hands, Coast Guard. Thank you, Coast Guard. Next shot.
Get it through.
Tackle, release.
Back.
Coast Guard.
This
Release,
is
Coast Guard.
where Vassar College excels. The pick and drives, slowing the game down and making those seconds tick off the clock. Sophia Bailey gets into the action. A little bit stranded. Lays on top of the ball there, but they're able to take it out of there, ripping it apart. And now Coast Guard down by 12. Little over 5 minutes left to play. What do they have left in the tank? Last year they fell to this same squad by 10 points. They've got to have a little something left in that bag of tricks, but right now it's Vassar College with the hard, tough defense. They're gonna force them to go 80 meters here with these pick and drives. And as you mentioned earlier, Lance, that might not be the right option with the time on the clock.
Yeah, and the back line is where they found success. All but one of their tries have went through the 15-meter channel, attacking wide. They're going for it now. Let's see what it can open for them.
Again, though, That inside center, outside center combo, charge straight up the gut and stifle that attack. They're unable to bring it all the way outside. Back in they come. Still at their 22-meter line. Here's a nice little burst of a run. Into contact goes Riley Mullen.
From the
Pushing
advantage, high
forwards.
tackle, number 3.
Robinson pushes forward, but there was a high tackle advantage being played. Good work by Jude Robinson on the defensive end, but a possession here back to the Coast Guard. Under just about 4 minutes left to play.
My heart is pounding. Both teams putting it all on the line. If Coast Guard can find a try right now within the next 2 minutes, we are looking at a next level rugby classic going into the back end of this match.
Remember, folks, this was a 39-10 match. No chance the Coast Guard was coming back, right? Wrong. Here they come. 12 points down. Just a few minutes left to play. Defense has this one strung all the way out to the outside. A little discombobulated, lost it forward, and Vassar College scoop it up. Advantage being played here off of the knock-on. Able to push their way forwards there. Contact made in the ruck. Just release. For some space here near side. Dermashkin smashes her way through, but we'll come back. No advantage gained off of the knock-on. Scrum to Vassar College.
Tick, 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 tick. Every second screams for Vassar. Eau Claire repeat of the final. Every second that goes by, the Coast Guard are running out of time. The light of their season dwindles at this moment. They got to get the ball back. Got to score as soon as possible. But if any team can do it, from what we've seen, Coast Guard is a team that can score fast.
Reset this one. Referee Tom Foley with the whistle.
You guys have been great. Here we go.
Just 2 minutes away from him blowing the final one of the match. And Vassar College punching their ticket for the second year in a row to the D2 National Championship Final. Wisconsin Eau Claire, the blue gold. Wait to see who they will face tomorrow. They'll pick this one out the near side now. A little trickery there. Bailey gets the ball back. Into contact she goes. 4'11" scrum half continues to lead the charge. Hands on the ball, and it's ripped out. Penalty earned there for the Coast Guard. 2 minutes away. The two-score game. Still an opportunity. Here to the outside, Kraus Rivera. Into contact at midfield. Throwing all sorts of numbers at this ruck to try and get possession, but Vassar College push their way forward and take it right back. Minute and a half left to play. Nyhouse into contact. Wolf getting involved as well. Here's Samuel Tang. Nice and slow. Hear the crowd getting into it now from Sabercat Stadium. Beautiful evening here. Vassar College 1 minute away from another national championship spot. We're gonna come back. Advantage was being played. Offsides for the Coast Guard, and just a minute left. Vassar College Lance looking to milk the rest of the time off the clock.
If there's ever a playing style, a natural structure for an offense that is perfect for this moment, it is Vassar. Line break.
Might not even need it as Yasmin Kasim Scott. She did that a couple times in the first half. First time here in the second. Don't forget about her as she sends Vassar inside the 22. Can they finish it off around the corner? Goes Robinson, already has 3. Looking for number 4. She once more and dots it down and secures the victory for Vassar College.
I said it once, I said it again. Jude Robinson, the powerhouse that she is, turned the tide for Vassar in this matchup. Whenever the backs on the outside needed a break, whenever they needed a moment, she was there. Had a few stops defensively as that 15 making the last tackle. And just like that, Vassar ticket is punched. Wisconsin Eau Claire awaits. And what an absolute 80-minute performance by this Vassar side. Tough fight by Coast Guard, but once they go out the back to Jude Robinson, She has her mind on a try, outrunning, outpacing, out determination. She is bringing it all, and just like that, 1-5 adds 5 for her 4th try of the day. Vassar College, great performance.
We're going to have a second look at it here, I believe, and our TMO taking another look, and it looks like no try is given. They're going to call obstruction, I believe, is that when the pass comes to Robinson, see the charge coming in here, and just stops her run, and that's what they're calling, I believe, Lance, for the obstruction.
I mean, thankfully, I don't think it'll have bearing on the entire matchup. Tough for Jude, who could have 4 on the day, but we respect the call. Can't block, can't get in the way, can't obstruct. Coast Guard needs to get points, though, to make this scoreline look even better.
I think Vassar College coach will be able to turn that disappointment there, not getting that one, just saving it for tomorrow. For Robinson, she's going to be needed heavily as this Vassar College squad will take on Wisconsin Eau Claire in the D2 final. Vassar on the defensive end, down by 12. Here's the Coast Guard continuing to try and charge forward, but this Vassar College defense, that was Sophia Bailey making the big time tackle against the forwards on that last one. Knocked it forward. This should be the final play of the match. They're going to continue to rumble. Bailey should be able to snag this one out the back. Sends it out to the backs. Kicks it forward, and this one will trickle out into touch. And Vassar College come away with the 39-27 victory. A well-earned effort. And boy, a terrific match. What a fun one here from Houston. We will step aside for everyone. Lance Kavanaugh up here in the booth. And Next Level Rugby production, again, in the books. Vassar College will take on Wisconsin Eau Claire tomorrow. We'll step aside. We've still got the D1 National Championship coming up next on the Rugby Network. Thanks for joining us. Shit, that was fun.